Pre-season testing done and dusted for you. How are you feeling about the work you've completed this week and the first impressions of the car on track?
I'm planning to improve, so just positive few days, but still a big gap to some of the guys ahead. So that's a lot of work we still need to do over the next week or so to try and close that down already.
Despite those issues, I mean, if we roll it back 12 months ago, how is it comparing the mood in the camp and how you're feeling in general?
Mood in the camp was already a lot better after 8 races last year. So the expectation, of course, to be a lot higher, and I don't think it can get a lot worse than how it started last year. So everything is great. Everyone's working very hard. They're working very well together and in a good way. So I'm happy with how everything's going.
You touched on the pace of the Red Bulls. Andrea said yesterday, the first time that he saw the RB20, his reaction was wow. Just wondering, you've obviously shared the track with our Red Bull.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about where you might potentially slot into the pecking order come this time next week?
I have no idea, honestly. Definitely quite a chunk behind Ferrari and quite a chunk behind Red Bull. I think they're clearly a long way ahead. So apart from that, I think we're still not in a bad position. We're probably just around that next pack. But those two teams definitely seem to have a decent advantage over everyone else.
On that side, just pumped up to go racing again. The talking stops next week and you can go for it.
Yeah, I mean, testing's good and all, but I love the racing. I love the qualifying. It means a lot more when you get to those situations. So, yeah, testing is never the most fun thing when you compare it to a race and to qualifying and those more tense situations. So, looking forward to next week already.
Daniel, we've reached the end of testing, or you certainly have. How much do you feel?
I think it's been good. Sorry, I was a bit delayed. I was just processing. Yeah, sorry, I've gone blank now. It's been good. Sorry, it's been good. I did, there was that issue this morning on track, obviously with the drain, and we were worried we wouldn't get our kind of race run in. So luckily we got that in. So I think, I did some short run stuff last night and on day one, and then the race sim more or less this morning on the last day. So I got plenty of laps. I feel pretty good, feel fit. I think where we are, and we just got to keep working from here.
You guys have been touted as slightly dark horses, maybe not for wins, but maybe surprise results. What would you say to that, given your experience in the car thus far?
I would say I think people definitely got excited from the outside. Let's just say fans got excited. I think they thought we were going to be a different version of another car from the past, but it's not that. It isn't that, and I think there was like the rumors and again a bit of excitement that it was going to be, but no, it's certainly not. But I think we're trying to make the most of what we got. I think we've definitely developed the car from last year. It's hard because we brought updates in Abu Dhabi, so we're comparing it to a car that had fresh updates. If we compared it to the race before Abu Dhabi, then it looks like we made a bigger step, but it's just an evolution of that. So yeah, some gains here and there, but still I think if we want to be sure to fight for Q3s and top 10s, I think there's certainly still going to be a bit more to find. But yeah, I say that realistically. I don't say it pessimistically, just realistically.
So Esteban, it hasn't been a test where Alpine have set the timesheets alight, but I don't get the impression that anybody in the team is worried. You seem quietly confident with everything. Is that the impression that you have?
Confident, I don't know, but we've managed to complete all the testing program, and the more we do laps.
Faultless is the word you used. You used it when you jumped out of the car, when you said thank you to all your engineers. The team came in for a lot of criticism last year about its operational capacity. Have you seen a step change in the team this year? Have issues been addressed?
I think yes. Since I joined that team, as I said, this testing have been the strongest. Clearly, from the pit stops, from where we started, everything was spot on. So that's a good thing. It doesn't mean that will make us the quickest, but already to be strong operational wise, that is a very strong feature. So we need to keep going.
I don't get the sense that you've taken a lot of fuel out of the car and done glory runs, but when you get the car into a performance window, where do you think you're going to be? What kind of capacity do you think the car has?
Yeah, I mean, the important is not, where we are exactly in Bahrain. Obviously, in the first qualifying, we are going to assess exactly where we are, but the important for us is to improve, from races to races. And as it's a new concept, that's the way we should take it. There's a lot of work to do, as I said, and, we are going to take it humble and step by step.
Fernando, when we spoke pre-season, you were so excited to get behind the wheel. You did some cold run in the Silverstone, some warmer run in here. Do you get that special feeling from this car?
Yeah, definitely. It's in 1 day and a half for each of us, and at the same time you try to figure out where are you in terms of orders. So yeah, a lot of things going on, but it's good fun.
What does the car feel like compared to last year? Do you think you've made a good step?
Yeah, definitely.
Just finally, what's the focus for the rest of the test?
To put some laps. I think for me, I'm a little bit running behind schedule with yesterday's red flag. So yeah, try to do some setup changes to see where this car needs to operate, in which window we need to move in this car. I think the rest is well known. I think the track is well known. The tires are the same as last year, so we can save a little bit of time on that.
Kevin, I wanted to start by asking you about the hammer in the cockpit that we saw you with. It's not unusual to see F1 drivers wielding hammers. I thought you'd gone back to your welding days, but what were you doing with the hammer in the cockpit?
Just adjusting the seat. We're doing like a scan of the seat that I was running last year and also will be running this year. So you bring out like a version of that seat, and it's never 100% correct. So there was a few adjustments to be made.
So you now spent 3 days in and around the VF24. The team knew what they needed to do. They needed a car that wasn't going to degrade the tyres as much. Do you feel like you've got the answers you need after the 3 days of race? It's always difficult to read the performance up and down the pit lane. Do you have any sense of who your fight is with this year, or any sense of your expectations for the year?
I expect it to be very close between everyone again. We were in the mix on Saturday most weekends last year. So if we can, up our performance on Sunday relative to our Saturday performance, then I don't think we need to improve our Saturday at all. I'd love to, but I think the main focus is on Sunday, and I expect it to be super tight between all the teams.